Hello and welcome to another Steps of Sussex channel episode, and today again on Sunday we are going to be going through a few stories that have hit the headlines on Sunday. As we know, the press always like to get a Sussex story out for a Sunday regardless of whether or not they actually know whether it's true. So we're going to be talking about some of those and also some stories that have occurred over the last few days. So all in all, we have quite a few stories to get through. Hello, and I do hope that you are all well. As always, I like to do live chats. I don't really like any of that kind of pre-recorded stuff. And now that I'm back able to do live streams, that is what I pretty much prefer to do. I like to talk to you guys. I like to read your comments and take as many questions as I possibly can. So first of all, my first question to all of you is, how are you? How are you doing? And I do hope that you are staying safe. Also, I want to say a really big thank you to everyone who has joined and become a channel member here on Steps of Sussex. It really does help to keep this channel going in these difficult times here on YouTube, where typically ad revenue is down because companies aren't placing as many adverts with YouTube because people haven't been having the spending capacity. So it really does help. I only have one flat tier. I don't believe in multiple tiers. It's one low-cost tier that hopefully will be accessible to everyone. So thank you so much if you have. Right, I can see people dropping in already. And I can see some channel members whose names are showing up in green. I can see Bev and I can see Sherry. And also, don't forget, you can use the custom emojis for the channel, of which we have a few. As soon as I get more members, YouTube will allow me to add more. So also, do let me know in the comments section, or if you're watching on catch up in the comments, let me know what emojis, what Sussex related emojis you would like me to include once I am able. So far, we have the Harry and Meghan monogram. We have the face of Harry, the face of Meghan, and we have a beautiful family photograph of all of the Sussexes: Harry, Meghan, and of course Archie. And I can see D Sweet as well. So just thank you. It really does help. So thank you so much for taking part. Right, let's go to some of the stories today. So I'm going to switch over to my other browser. So for a moment, I can't see comments, but I will go back in a moment. And I'm hoping my browser works, because just before this, I've had to refresh and load everything back up. So I'm hoping that everything kind of works and doesn't freeze. Right, so this is a revelation, I suppose. So this story is that Prince Harry admitted that he knew personally how important it is to, and I quote, share your grief. And he shared this during a chat with somebody who had survived the Tunisian terror attack, and says he didn't talk enough after his mother Diana's death. Now this actually it's kind of like delayed news. So this happened obviously a few years ago now, but Owen Richards, who is now 21, from the West Midlands, not too far away from where I am. I am from the West Midlands here in the UK, and he has he's recalled an exchange between himself and the Prince. So when he was 16, he sadly lost some family members in that horrific attack on the beach. You might remember it, in Tunisia. And he's only just spoken out about the conversation that he had with Prince Harry. So just to update you, last year, you may have caught the video, I think I made one on my other channel, but last year Prince Harry officially dedicated a memorial to the British victims of the 2015 Tunisian attacks. And he attended the ceremony at Birmingham's Cannon Hill Park alongside the families of those who had lost loved ones. So speaking for the first time, Owen told the Daily Mirror, one of the red tops, one of the tabloids here in the UK, he said, he gave me some advice. He said, I must talk about what happened. He said he knew personally because when he lost his mum, he didn't. And we know that Prince Harry has spoken out in the past about his mother's passing and not having spoken out enough. Just bear with me a moment. My computer does indeed seem to have frozen, and I have lost the article. Once it reloads, I'll pick up from it. But yeah, he basically just revealed exactly what Harry had said to him, which wasn't terribly much more. And I think my computer has totally frozen. So I'm going to skip back to the live chat, and hopefully I will be able to remember from memory all the stories that I've read. Thank you to Kim Scales, who's donated $4.99. How's it going? It's going great, apart from my computer freezing on me, which isn't particularly good. Oh no. Oh, hang on. Is it loading now? Oh yes, it's back. There we go. We just had to wait. Obviously, he told Harry how and when it happened, and there we go. That was all of it. So there we go. Moving on. I'm going to move on to the next story now, as soon as that loads up. Right. I'll tell you what happened with my computer. So a few weeks ago, I was having trouble loading certain news websites, and they had too many adverts on them. So I downloaded an ad blocker, which meant then I can't uninstall it. I don't know how or why, but I can't uninstall this ad blocker. So I had to download Firefox, and every time I load multiple articles or multiple windows on Firefox, it crashes the computer. So I need to figure out how to deinstall an ad blocker. I'm on a Mac, by the way. Anyway, right, the story's just loading. So this is a story, you may have seen it, that hit the papers today. Again, it's another so-called royal reporter, biographer, running their mouths about Harry and Meghan. This one is a man called Phil Dampier, or Dampier, whichever you want to, however posh you want to be. And he has said that Prince Harry and Meghan are the, and I quote, big losers in the royal family amid the coronavirus pandemic and look irrelevant in this country. So those are the claims that he has made. And again, it's one of those stories, I just don't find it to be useful. And it's, again, another clear example of somebody presenting their own opinion as fact. Because, you know, it is not a fact that Harry and Meghan are the losers in the coronavirus pandemic. It is his opinion. And of course, everyone is entitled to their opinion. He's entitled to his opinion. But we know that Harry and Meghan just decided to step back for their own reasons, which over time, I'm sure will come to light exactly. But Harry and Meghan stepped back prior to the coronavirus, prior to even, anyone even contemplating the coronavirus. It wasn't even in anyone's consciousness. So to try and even try to put out there that anyone would try to benefit or look good from the coronavirus pandemic, I don't think is very useful. The royal family and Harry and Meghan have been doing their best from wherever they are, from their different positions within the world. Harry and Meghan are in LA. Obviously, many of their charities are in the UK. They've been doing lots of work via video link. The royal family have been doing, the working royals have been doing all of their things. It's not a competition, and I really, really wish that the press and key figures in the media wouldn't try to still push this narrative against the royal family, versus Harry and Meghan, or Harry and Meghan versus the royal family. It's not helpful. I mean, if he goes on about saying that, that the people in the country, he says they are the big losers because now they look somewhat isolated and somewhat irrelevant in this country. I mean, it's all completely objective, because to people, for example, in America, where Harry and Meghan are now based, Harry and Meghan aren't going to look, irrelevant or somewhat distant from it. So no, it's just one of those pieces that's just put out there on a Sunday. He says they still might have a massive role to play internationally or in America. Well, at least he's conceded that. But I think people just shrug their shoulders in the UK. They're just not really interested, whereas all the other royals have gone up in popularity and have also played their roles very well. Well, I mean, I can say I am here in the UK, and I suppose, the feeling is that Harry and Meghan are a little bit distant, but not that they're not doing any good work, because of course they are. We see Harry and Meghan images coming back of them, responding to their charities, making video messages. We saw Meghan's very impassioned speech on the Black Lives Matter movement with everything that's been going on over the last 3 weeks. So people know that Harry and Meghan are active. And it's true that the royal family here in the UK have gone up in popularity. The popularity of the royal family is very, very much almost on an even level. There are, troughs and dips, throughout history. All of those, are very, very well documented. For example, round about the time of the Queen's Annus Horribilis, that was, a massive dip, and all the Charles and Diana scandals going on. That was a big dip as well. Generally in the UK, people do think the royal family, have performed well. So, it's just Phil Dampier running his gums. Right, I'm going to delete some windows. So hopefully my computer will run a little bit more smooth. I'm going to go to the comment section and just see what people are saying about some of the issues that I've already spoke about. And I know people are going to have all of their opinions. So, hang on. D Sweet says, exactly, not a competition, especially during the coronavirus. I don't think anybody should be trying to turn it into a competition. We are experiencing, how many thousands worldwide, globally, people have we lost? And, people like that are coming up with silly stories like that for the press. It's terrible. Cookies and Cream says, Harry and Meghan stepped back as senior royals because of the racial abuse, bullying and the smears by the British press. Racism exists and it's a proven fact. To deny it is disingenuous and dishonest. Yes, and, Harry, in fact, but let me just park that for a moment, because I've got a story coming up that I'm going to talk about where I will be able to speak a lot more about that comment. So, yeah. Arnold, we are going to talk more about SmartWorks as well. Those stories are coming up. Antoinette says, I'm getting tired of people saying Harry and Meghan are irrelevant, but won't stop talking about them. Well, it's a Sunday. We know we get Sussex stories on a Sunday. Whether they're true or not, they just kind of make them up, don't they? Right, okay. I'm gonna move on to the next story. So let me browser hop for a moment. Right, the next story. SmartWorks. That was the one I got lined up. Kate Stevens, the CEO of SmartWorks. So when I refer to Kate, I'm not talking about the other Kate. I'm talking about Kate Stevens, the CEO of SmartWorks. So Kate has said, whenever she, Meghan, comes to see us, she always gets involved in dressing and coaching our clients. She says, okay, Duchess Meghan might have moved to LA, but she still supports the charities and causes she made commitments to during her time as a senior member of the royal family, indeed. And of course, we spoke about this at great length at the time, that Harry and Meghan were taking, all of their charities with them. So in a new interview with The Flock, and I've never read The Flock or even heard of it, but anyway, The Flock, Kate Stevens, the chief executive officer of SmartWorks, discussed Meghan's continued work with the charity. She said that recently Meghan surprised a SmartWorks client with a one-on-one coaching session over Zoom. And according to Stevens, this is the perfect example of the Duchess's enduring involvement in the charity. So going back to what I said earlier about Harry and Meghan still being able to do, during Corona, still being able to address all of their charities and associations, that has still been going on, and that is still being seen by the world. So Stevens revealed that she saw the impact we were able to have in terms of both the clothes and the coaching in helping women. I think that's always been a part of her own ethos. So she came quietly to see us over the course of that year. And then when we asked her to be our patron, she said yes, which was lovely. And of course, we remember the really, really big collaboration where we had the 1-for-1 model with the clothes, which was a runaway huge success. So of Meghan's hands-on approach, Kate said, she's had great ideas and has been a great inspiration to our clients above all else. Whenever she comes to see us, she always gets involved in dressing and coaching our clients, as well as bringing her ideas to the table. And she is still absolutely involved. So there we go. And Meghan remains the patron of SmartWorks, still involved. And, you know, we can only imagine what Meghan is cooking up behind the scenes. You see what I did there with the cookbook? Yeah, she is cooking up behind the scenes, probably really, really big things with many things that we probably wouldn't even dream of even thinking. So yes, well done, Meghan, and most definitely still has her association with SmartWorks. So there we go. Right, I'm going to pop to, after every story, I'm going to pop to the comments and see what people are saying. Donna says, you talk about Meghan every day to give attention to the boring royals like Catherine and Baldy. Well, for a start, I don't think it's very nice to criticise anybody because of their looks. It's not helpful, it's not clever, it's not smart. So I really don't encourage that type of comment here on this channel. I think that sort of comment says way, way more about the person that says it than it does about the people that it's about. What did Michelle Obama say? She famously said, when they go low, we go high, or words to that effect. And I definitely think that that is what everyone should be doing at this time, is going high, educating people. But we don't educate people by being nasty. We don't educate people by being a bully. So no, that comment is not relevant to this channel. Velva says, I like that you said they are not in competition. They are not in competition. You know, I honestly believe Harry and Meghan and the royal family are not competing against each other. What is driving the narrative of competition is the media. And, you know, the one common denominator in all of this is the media. Yes, you know, Harry and Meghan and the royal family have had their differences. William and of course Harry have had their differences. It's family. Families have their differences. Families have their fallings out. And, you know, often relations can be worked on and things should be worked on. You know, it's not good to continue, you know, a spat, a family spat. You only have one family. Sometimes things can be repaired. Sometimes things can't be repaired. And, you know, it's not good that the media keeps fueling it. You know, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes in terms of trying to repair things. All we know is what the media says. And a lot of the time, like I've just shown, you know, people's opinions are presented as fact. And, you know, it doesn't make it a fact. Just because someone says it, just because someone claims they're a royal expert, it doesn't make it true. And now says, Elliot is very loyal to the royal family, so be careful. I have no allegiance to everyone. I am not funded by a magazine. I am not funded by a newspaper. I have no formal associations with the royal family. I am an independent, and all the way through, I have always tried to just say what happens. Sometimes we have to talk about the possibilities of lots of different options because we don't know an actual fact. So sometimes it's good to talk about everything that is being discussed so that we can make sense of it. But I always say when something, you know, is not a definite, is not an actual fact. And I am the only channel here on YouTube that does that for both the royal family and for Harry and Meghan. I am completely objective in either of them. So I do dispute that I have an allegiance to any one side. The only reason why I have two channels is because I anticipated a lot of extra work and a lot of extra news coming in from Harry and Meghan. Obviously, we'll get to the story in a moment about Archewell being delayed, but obviously, I would have had so much going on with just the one channel that it was impossible to keep them together. I had to split. But also, the factions. There was too many factions going on, and it made sense, perfect sense at the time, back in January when I first decided to split off. And that is what this channel is about. It is about the steps of Sussex. It's not about, blowing smoke or blowing wind up anyone's skirt. It's not about that, or trousers. It's not about, fanning someone's ego. It's not about doing that. It is about just following the steps. It's following exactly what happens. No narratives, no biases, no anything of that nature. It is about just documenting exactly what happens at a moment in time. And things can change. Things can change from time to time. And that is what this channel is about. Right, going back up just a little bit. Yes, Meghan is a doer and not just a talker. Completely agree. Right, I'm going to move on to the next story. Let's go back to the other browser. Right, okay, so this is about Archewell. Now, again, I'm still not entirely sure how to pronounce it, because until we hear somebody officially who would know how it's pronounced, actually pronounce it. Some people are calling it Archewell, some people are calling it Archewell, some people are calling it Arkwell. There's so many different pronunciations it could be. For now, I'm going with Archewell, but there we go. So, as we know, Harry and Meghan are learning quietly behind the scenes all of the different... Well, they're just learning more about the Black Lives Matter movement, and also they've been doing so much work with the COVID-19 relief efforts. I think it's important to point out that nobody knows 100% what is the right thing to say or the right thing to do when it comes to Black Lives Matter. Different people, even within the movement, I think, have varying opinions about what should be done, what should be said. But I think Meghan hit the nail right on the head when she said in her speech that the only thing the only thing you shouldn't do is to not say anything at all. And I think she is right. It is about open dialogue. It's about open dialogue. It's about not persecuting people when they open their mouth and possibly get something wrong. It's about recognizing that people are trying to have a conversation, and that should be welcomed, even if some people are opening their mouths and getting it a bit wrong. That is an opportunity, a golden opportunity to educate people. And the fact that Meghan spoke about the Black Lives Matter movement, the fact that she chose the vehicle of doing that within an education setting to the Immaculate Heart High School graduation, the fact that it was education that she chose was not a fact that was lost on me. I know, and I think Meghan knows, that the answer to a lot of this, it's not just any single issue, it's many different issues, and they all feed into one another. But one most important thing is about education. It's about educating people. That's why using the Black Lives Matter movement to have an open conversation with people who may not understand what's going on, it's a good and it's a positive thing to be doing. So we shouldn't be persecuting people if they open their mouths and get it wrong. We'll talk about Jessica Mulroney in a moment. We'll park that one. But no, I think it is really good. I think Meghan got it right with what she said in her message. Now, of course, Harry and Meghan, once they stepped back from being a royal family before coronavirus, basically they were going to do something with a charitable endeavour. We know what happened with the Sussex Royal. We're not going to talk about that. That's done and dusted. But their new endeavour was obviously revealed to be Archewell. And I think had Corona not happened, I think that would be launching ahead now. That would be launching ahead this year. But because of Black Lives Matter movement and of course Meghan and Harry, I think are going to play a vital role within that. They have such a big platform. And I don't think Meghan and Harry are the sort of person that wouldn't use that platform to make a difference. And I think that they possibly see their calling, certainly for the rest of this year, being Black Lives Matter and also the COVID relief. So that's kind of pushed in a lot of people's mind anything to do with Archewell back to possibly 2021. Trying to launch something with all the COVID-19 things going on at the moment, all the restrictions, is not going to be easy. And I think it is probably a really good idea to just to put things on the back burner with Archewell. They can still work behind the scenes, but just put things back possibly until next year. That's not to say that we may not find out little details about what we can expect. But certainly, I think it's wise to possibly put any type of charitable foundation or non-profit to the back burner just for a while, because like I say, Harry and Meghan have a key role, I think, in all of this, using their platform to do really, really good work. Right, I'm going to go up and read a little bit of comments about this. Becky says, you are very objective in your reporting. Thank you so much. It's what I try to do. Thank you to all the people saying that they love the channel. Alicia says, the reason why it's delayed is because they are still in review with the Queen. No, I don't think that's the case. I think if COVID hadn't happened, I think they'd be pushing ahead with their non-profit. I don't think a non-profit would have been an issue with the Queen. Harry said that he wanted to uphold the values of the Queen, of the monarchy. And I don't think, a non-profit organisation, I don't think is going to rock any royal boats, so to speak. So no, I think any delay is because of COVID-19 in particular, but also Harry and Meghan want to focus, it's understood, on what they can do for the Black Lives Matter movement because of everything that they have faced over the past couple of years. So, they certainly have a voice about it. Right. Let's go down to the next story, which I'm going to have to hop back over to my Firefox browser. Right, this was lovely. Oh, this was a beautiful story. So, I loved it. Private Joseph Hammond, age 95, and that amazing video, which of course was shared. And just the joy in his face. So, he received a letter from Harry and Meghan. And have you seen the video? It was really, really amazing. So, Private Joseph Hammond fought in the Second World War in Ghana. And he's been walking 14 miles for frontline workers supporting the COVID-19 relief. And a video was released of him reading and receiving a letter, and it's described as heartwarming, and I definitely think that it was heartwarming. It brought a big smile to my face anyway. So he said, this is such a wonderful surprise. It's absolutely marvellous, and I will hold this in my heart forever. I would like to thank Prince Harry for this amazing gift. And Prince Harry has met Joseph on previous occasions. So he's been completing 2 miles every day for 7 consecutive days. He was inspired by the heroic efforts of Colonel Tom Moore, who is to be knighted after raising £39 million for the NHS. That's amazing in itself, but just the fact that Colonel Tom Moore has inspired other people across the world to also do similar things is amazing. And yeah, just the joy on his face. It was an uplifting story, and yeah, it was just really truly lovely, a heartwarming moment indeed. Right, let's see what people are saying. Yes, it was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful video. If you haven't had a chance to go see it, do go and, of course, check that out. Right, next story. Let's see if we can get through them. So, this is the Jessica Moroney story. Now, of course, it is, deeply connected to Black Lives Matter. Jessica Moroney has been caught in a racism storm, one which, absolutely she has brought on herself. Now, this is a Harry and Meghan channel, so, why am I even mentioning Jessica Mulroney? Well, what is disgusting, of course, is not only, what Jessica got wrong in all of this, but it's also the fact that the press are dragging Meghan into it. But the reason why I'm talking about Jessica today is that Jessica also dragged potentially Meghan into it. So many people are thinking that that Jessica referenced Meghan when she apologised to Sasha Exeter on Instagram, and this is what Jessica said. She said, "I am unequivocally sorry for not doing that with you and any hurt I've caused. As I told you privately, I have lived a very public and personal experience with my closest friend where race was front and centre. It was deeply educational. I learned a lot from that. I promise to continue to learn and listen on how I can use my privilege to elevate and support Black voices." So many people are saying that the friend that she's referencing, of course, might be Meghan. Now, we do not know if Jessica has any other friends that may have been going through a race row most recently, and where Jessica would have had a very personal experience, front and centre, as she puts it. But I think most people, without Jessica actually spelling it out, I think most people are probably thinking that Jessica is meaning Meghan. So obviously, the press has seized on this and obviously dragged Meghan into it as well. A lot of the press are now saying that Meghan is trying to distance herself from Jessica. And I have to say, I don't agree on that one. I don't think that's what a good friend would do. Meghan and Jessica are very, very close. And I am sure Meghan will have had so much to say to Jessica behind the scenes that we will never be privy to about this issue. Jessica shouldn't have got that wrong, but she did. And, she can't take that back. But it's like what I said before. It's about open conversation. It's about open dialogue. It's not about dropping people or cancelling people when they get something wrong. It's about educating them. It's about using your voice, my voice, our collective voices to lift people up and to support them with knowledge and education. Obviously, Jessica didn't know enough. She didn't know enough about privilege. She didn't realise her own privilege, and she tried to take someone down. And that wasn't a nice thing to do. But is it something that Meghan should stop talking to her or stop associating with or stop being her friend about? No, I totally don't think so. And I don't think Meghan is the sort of person that would drop a friend just like that. I think Meghan is the sort of person that would try and talk to her friend. I think she's the sort of person that would try to educate her friend and help her friend better. So yeah, Jessica has paid the price. She has been dropped from many, if not all, of her endorsements and television shows and all the things like that. So Jessica has paid a price for what's happened. And, I would probably expect Meghan to be supporting her friend behind the scenes. And like I say, trying to educate her, we should all be educating each other and not being afraid to say something, even if it's wrong or perceived to be wrong. Like Meghan said, to say nothing is the wrong thing. So yeah, I think Meghan will be educating her and trying to help her through this. So let's. Duchess of St Andrews says the value of a loving, respectful, and open conversation. Indeed, indeed. Patricia says Jessica is not a racist. She made a mistake. She made a really, really big mistake, and like I say, she has paid the price. She's paid the price for it. Athena says that's her friend. She's not going to drop it. Jessica has got a mountain to climb to repair the damage that she's done, and she has done damage. But you know, where someone has fallen down, somebody can get back up again, and as long as she does it in a humble way, in a way that helps bring people up with her, she could still do it. So you know, Jessica has a chance to repair the damage that's been done. She has a chance to get her life back, and you know, I don't think we should be beating her with a stick, basically. Helen says you golfed with a lady who had no idea about Black Lives Matter and had a deep discussion about it yesterday. She was terrified of saying something wrong. Yes, I think that's what it is. People are scared. People are being scared to say something in case they are accused of being a racist, or they're smacked down, or they're cancelled, or you know, something like that. We need to get away from this cancel culture. What we need is open conversations where people support each other, and you know, people support people's lack of knowledge. That lady that Helen speaks of obviously had no idea, and if you educate somebody, that is how we change the world. Right. And moving on from that, I want to go to the final story of the day. Let me just open up my windows. This is a letter, well, not a letter, a statement from a Sussex squad member who has been involved in great charity work. Now, this is the account on Twitter called Henry's Cousin, and basically, Harry and Meghan's people contacted, and they did a video chat, and she has shared the experience. So if I read what she put. So as you all know, a while ago, I was contacted by Harry and Meghan's team via email to chat about this virtual community that has been growing over the years, and more specifically about our many charitable endeavours conducted in their honour. And of course, we know all about those. During my Zoom meeting with the Sussex's team, I was asked for my phone number, and days later, I got a call from Meghan and Harry themselves. This was a short call with the sole purpose to thank us all for our efforts in putting such an amazing charitable fundraiser campaign for Archie's birthday, and also for our enthusiastic support in the past 2 years. They both sounded so thankful, so moved, and so happy for having our support. At first, I felt like I didn't want to share this call publicly, in fear of the tabloids and mean-spirited people twisting it into something negative and ruining such a special moment. But Meghan did tell me to pass on the message, and I don't think I did that exactly. I'm so humbled to have been used as a messenger to pass on their words of gratitude to you all, and I shouldn't keep it a secret any longer, because you all deserve to know that they appreciate our support so much. They took the time out of their busy schedule to call one of us. Calling me was like calling all of us. Acknowledging me so personally and so directly was like doing the same to all of us. Let this be a reminder to keep supporting Meghan and Harry by highlighting the good and looking for ways to make the world better, like they inspire us to. Love you all. And again, that was a beautiful, beautiful message, and really, really good, I think, of Harry and Meghan to recognise the work that is being done in their names, in Archie's name. And also, you know, it goes to show that Meghan and Harry do have their ears to the ground, and they are watching, they are listening to what people are doing on the ground, and they are recognising and sharing positive work. So yeah, I just think it was really, really lovely that they took the time out to recognise, and like what was said, to say thank you to one person is like saying thank you to everybody as well. Khadija says, I'm glad Harry and Meghan called Sussex Squad, and I like what she said. Yes, it was lovely. May have been a short call, but hey, if Harry and Meghan call, I would take a one-word answer. Solange says, this is a message from Libreville. What about Meghan's mother, Doria? Yes, that was my last topic of conversation, actually. You just reminded me. So there is talk in the press that Doria has moved in to where Harry and Meghan are staying, which is, of course, Tyler Perry's mansion. We've all seen the mansion. We've all seen, the screens going up, and we've heard about the drones going over and all the rest of it. So has Doria moved in? I mean, to be honest, I don't know. You don't know. I doubt very, very much the people reporting that she's moved in will know. Some people are saying that she's lived in, and effectively, she's being like the nanny. I mean, again, this is the sort of narrative that's being put out there, that Doria is the nanny. And, again, let's link this back to Black Lives Matter directly. It's that sort of language, trying to, say, just because Doria's moved in, Doria's the nanny, Doria's like the hired help. It all feeds into that negative, suppression, privilege that goes on. These are probably Caucasian people writing all of these articles, trying to pitch Doria as the person of colour who's gone in to be the nanny. Oh my goodness, Doria is not the nanny. Doria is not the hired help. Doria is Archie's grandmother. And if Doria has moved in, and I say if with, a big pinch of salt, because we don't know if Doria has moved in, but even if Doria has just visited, she will be there as the grandmother, not as the hired help. My goodness. Yeah, these people are just they're pitching it to the same old narrative that people already have. Yes, exactly. Doria is the mother and grandmother. She's not the hired help. We're not in Gone with the Wind days, are we? And we've all heard what's happened with Gone with the Wind. Anyway, Sylvia, yes, Doria is not the nanny. Doria is the grandmother. That's exactly what I've said. And if Doria has moved in, so what? Does it matter if Doria's moved in? Does it matter if Doria hasn't moved in? It makes absolutely no difference. It's none of my business. It's none of the press's business. It's none of your business either. It's none of any of our businesses. It's Miss Doria's business. And I need an emoji of Doria, don't I? Oh, in that beautiful Oscar de la Renta number that she wore to the wedding. Oh, yes. Yes, I need a Doria emoji. Right. Yes, Doria can't be a nanny. She's the grandmother, of course she is. Right. Right, I'm going to go now. I think I have been talking to you for 43 minutes about lots and lots and lots of different issues. Some lady says yes, an emoji of Doria. I'm going to do an emoji of Doria. That will be my next emoji once I am able to put one on. So again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for taking the time out to spend almost 45 minutes with me. Please, I invite you to have that open dialogue, that open discussion with people that might not know about what's going on, or might not fully understand or comprehend what's going on. Don't shoot them down for not knowing. Educate them, bring them up. Everyone needs to be singing from the same hymn sheet on all of this. I bless you and thank you so much for everything. So if you've enjoyed this video, found it useful, please give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to share on social media, and also of course hit the bell so that you know whenever I upload a new video. Also, do make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. So from myself and on behalf of everyone in the Sussex Great family, mwah, to you all, and goodbye.